What's up, sit-downers? Welcome to Claremont, California. Beautiful view behind you. We are about 45 minutes away from Los Angeles. Buffalo is long gone. But I'm not going to leave you guys with a week without a book review. I wouldn't do that to you. Little special thing for you this week. I'm going to review a book that I didn't actually read this week. I read it about a year ago. Got a good number of requests for this over the past few months. House of Leaves. House of Leaves can be classified as like a horror story, I guess. It is scary at parts. If you're into that kind of stuff like Stephen King, this is your type of book. I really think that this gives the Stephen King type of horror story a run for its money. And how many authors can you say have done that recently? That guy's been king of the genre for a long time, and I think finally we got a work here that really gives him a run for his money. I don't think the author is specific to horror, though, so I don't think we're going to have a real contender to take over the throne. But the book of itself really does lean towards scariness. It follows a main character, but more importantly, it follows the story of a house that expands and contracts without warning and without scientific reasoning behind it. Lots of people come to measure the house, architects, everyday family members, trying to figure out how it's possible that this room, when people walk into it, seems to expand and shrink at will when the house on the outside doesn't seem to get any bigger or smaller. Nobody can really figure that out. At the same time, the story also follows the character who has found the pile of notes that somebody else wrote on the house. Yeah, it gets a little convoluted, but as you read it, you'll understand. It's definitely original in this aspect. It bounces around from the man trying to read the notes themselves, and then a great amount of footnotes and a large appendix, which I guess is what makes people say that House of Leaves is Infinite Jest's little brother. That's something I've heard a few times, and I mean, I guess I can understand that based on the structure, I suppose, with all the extra notes that you have to look up as you're flicking through. But as far as story is concerned, my dog, get out of here, go. As far as the story is concerned, there's almost no comparison. They're really not that similar at all. I can say that this was a well-written piece of work. It definitely did what it was supposed to do. It sent some shivers down my spine, I suppose you could say. And I could say that I would recommend it to most people. It was enjoyable, and it was really different. And that's something that's kind of hard to do in a medium of art that's, been around since man has more or less learned how to pick up a utensil and write. I would like to say, on a side note, this has nothing to do with the work itself, but it is something that kind of irked me, I guess you could say. On Twitter, this one time, I was chatting with a friend about the book, mentioning House of Leaves, and the author, or whoever runs the author's account, must have been searching that, and he started following me and started following my friend, and we got really excited about that. And what is, common decency in the Twitter world, we started following him back. Well, I ended up finding out about 3 months later, as I was going through followers or something, maybe I saw him on my timeline, I clicked his profile, and I found out that he stopped following me. And not only did he stop following me, but he had stopped following every single other person that he had originally followed. Basically, what he was trying to do is get as many people as possible to follow him and then delete us all, so it looked like he had a very large fan base. And I just found that kind of lame on his part, and I stopped following him. And I understand that in today's world, especially in the internet, that publicity is king, and you have to work towards getting your name out there almost more than you have to work towards putting a good piece of artwork together. But telling people that you're gonna follow them, especially when you're a big name celebrity, I guess you could say, and then kind of behind their back screwing them over and leaving them behind, it really kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth, which makes me unsure of if I want to read anything else by the guy, you know? But that really, I suppose, doesn't influence the work itself. And it was a good work. Was it amazing to the point where it was hard for me to put into words the magic of the author and his ability to write? No. But it was good enough to recommend to others. So I'll say that. You know, if I had to give it a number score, which I don't do too often, but this would just be your solid 7. 7 out of 10. That's what I got for you this week. I'm going back to watch football. I hope you like this new background. It's going to be sunny almost all the time, which I love. Alright? I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to review The Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. See ya.